There are a ton of workout plans online. Everyone says theirs is the best. Some want you to train 5 or 6 days a week. Others have fancy routines with lots of rules or special equipment. Maybe those work if you're always at home, if you have your own gym, your own kitchen, you're on your own time, but that's not you. You travel for work. You're on flights 1 to 4 times a month. You work out in hotel gyms that have some dumbbells and a broken treadmill. You go to client dinners, you catch late flights, you deal with jet lag. So in this video, I'll talk about how I would put together a workout plan if I were starting over today to fit this exact lifestyle. All right, rule number 1 is to keep it simple, but do it every week. You don't need to work out 6 days a week. That's just not real life. When you travel for work, 3 to 4 days is plenty. And why is that? It's because you need something that works even when flights get delayed, if you have to move around your itinerary, even when you have a late dinner, even when you're feeling tired and unmotivated, when you have jet lag. Now, here's what matters most, which is doing a plan that you can stick with that will, beat having a perfect plan 10 out of 10 times, because the last thing we want to do is just quit after 2 weeks. Most travelers struggle with consistency, not having specific resources or a plan available to them. It's almost always the consistency. I had a client who's a sales rep, and she probably flies every 2 to 3 weeks across her region. And she used to feel bad about missing her 5-day workout split. That was a split that her previous health coach had put her on. And when we changed it to 3 workouts and additional Pilates when she was home, she was able to actually do them all and be flexible around her travel days. She got stronger because she stopped trying to do more than she had time for. So like I said, doing it every week is always going to beat doing more, okay? And that takes us into rule number 2, which is use what's always there, aka dumbbells, okay? So let's be real, hotel gyms aren't always the fanciest, but when you walk in, there's always gonna be a treadmill, maybe a yoga mat, and then some dumbbells that go up to 50 pounds if you're lucky, but at the very least, the dumbbells will be there. If I was starting over, my whole workout plan would be built around just dumbbells and or body weight. You can push, pull, squat, and carry with dumbbells. You can work out your whole body. And the best part is when you're home, you're at your home gym, whether it's LA Fitness, 24 Hour Fitness, Lifetime, wherever you go, you can always add more stuff, machines, barbells, cables. But when you're traveling, you'll never need less because you're staying in places that will have dumbbells. Even if you only have 1 pair of 20-pound dumbbells, that is all you need. There's so much you can do to keep the intensity high, regardless of what level of physical fitness you are. And so this really means that your plan is going to work everywhere. Okay, so now that we've established what equipment we're going to use, now we have to figure out how are we going to actually split up our workouts. So there's 3 easy ways to do it, okay? You can work out your full body every other day. You can do a upper body, lower body, then full body split. Or you can do a push, pull, leg split, which is more kind of like a bodybuilding style, but push essentially is any pushing movements. So chest, shoulders, and triceps. A pull movement would be anything you pull close to your body. So anything that works the back or the biceps. And what this accomplishes is you are able to target your entire body throughout the week, which is really important. Okay, so we don't leave anything out. Now, my preference personally in an ideal situation is going to be that full body every other day, because you're targeting all the muscles consistently. And when it comes to developing progress over time, there is an element of frequency that is advantageous for our overall progress and overloading progressively over time. Now, the issue with this split, if you do full body every other day, is that if you do back-to-back workouts on the week, like one on Wednesday and then one on Friday and Saturday, that essentially causes an issue because you would increase the risk of injury doing back-to-back days with the same muscle groups. And for travelers, when you do need that element of flexibility, sometimes that will be the case. You might only be able to work out once during the week and you have to do the other 2 on the weekends to make up. So for that reason, that's not my number 1 preference. Now, what I would recommend for a sweet medium though, is that upper body, lower body, and full body split. Now that is because you can still hit every body part twice a week and you have that flexibility to also be able to do those back-to-back workouts. So, for example, let's say you do with that, same schedule as I mentioned before, let's say you do the first workout on a Wednesday. Okay, you do the full body workout on a Wednesday, Then you have 2 days to recover. So, Thursday you recover, and then through onto Friday, then you do the upper body workout on Friday, the lower body workout on Saturday. That way on the back-to-back days, you're not working the same muscle groups, and you're still able to progress and get the 3 workouts in for the week, and then repeat for the following week. Which takes us into rule number 4, which is how long should these workouts be? My rule of thumb, especially for people in this demographic that are going to have busy schedules, that are going to be traveling for work, start with 30 minutes. That's it, okay? If you can't stick with 30 minutes 3 times a week, you will not magically stick to any program that you're given that requires a full gym, 60-minute workouts. Even if it sounds fancier, they're giving these massive promises. Like I said, travelers most often always struggle with consistency. Now, once you're doing the 30-minute workouts 3 to 4 times a week for a few months, and you build that confidence and you prove to yourself that you actually have that consistency, then, if you have more time or you have the ability to, or desire to want to increase to 45 or 60-minute workouts, then you can absolutely do that. But you always want to start small and not overcommit. Okay, then you can do more. And here's why this works, okay? So it's flexible. If your travel plans change, that's not an issue. You can always find 30 minutes either late in the day, the same day, or, the following day. You can move things around with a 3-day-a-week split. It works everywhere. Every hotel gym is gonna have dumbbells. You can add to it, at your home gym, add barbells, machines, cables. You'll never be taking away. And you can keep doing it and build that confidence and consistency. You're never chasing being perfect. You're building something that you can do for years on end and build off of. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder, unless you want that. This is more about staying fit, having energy, and feeling sharp when you do travel for work, because you need to show up at your best and perform at your best on these trips. And when you're home for your family, your relationships, everything in between. So you don't need to have 2 days after every trip to feel normal again, and to, just lie in bed and recover if you're aching or, you're just completely fatigued. And we don't want to get stuck in that cycle of travel, fall apart, get better, repeat. And, it's more about actually being able to walk into your meetings, feel confident, have energy throughout the day, and not feeling like your health is the price you pay for your career. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. And here's something that people often don't talk about. Working out isn't just about looking good. That is a byproduct, and a lot of us start our journey for that reason, to look good. But beyond that, it's about having energy and feeling good, especially for us, frequent travelers. And if you've ever sat in a meeting, yawning or just thinking like, I wish I could close my eyes for 5 minutes right now, you know exactly what I mean. And strength training, even for just 20 or 30 minutes, can give you that edge. You're sharper, you're more focused, and you're less tired, and that's why this matters. So that's how I build my workout plan if I was starting over this year, 3 to 4 days max. I personally only work out 4 days a week for that exact reason. I do enjoy the aspect of getting stronger and bodybuilding, and I'm able to do that with my 4-day split while traveling. But that's because it's a priority for me. If you're not used to working out consistently, then start with 3 days. Like I said, just get those building blocks up. So 3 to 4 days max, just dumbbells, work your whole body, or do the upper lower full body split. Start with 30 minutes, build up from there. And a bonus, track your progress, okay? It will keep you accountable and push you. And another bonus, join a community of people, because the voices you put into your head and the environment you have around you is going to influence the action you take. If you're around other successful entrepreneurs, you're going to have a higher baseline for what you can achieve. Similarly, if you're around a lot of people who take their health seriously and are consistently trying to push themselves, you will also start to find yourself taking action more often. With that being said, this is simple, it's flexible, you can stick with it, and it works no matter where you travel. And the best part is you don't have to figure this out yourself. If you do want it for you, I already make daily 15 to 30 minute workouts specifically tailored to this kind of lifestyle. Dumbbells only, some days are only body weight, upper body, lower body, full body, mobility, cardio and conditioning, stability and core, you name it. Like, I literally make these workouts and give them to my community members every single day. There's no need to search on Instagram, YouTube, ChatGPT for random workouts, and you have to figure out where to actually put them, where to track them, and you have to find new ones consistently. So if that interests you at all, you can check it out for free. The link will be in the description. But if you got something out of this video, you like the next one that's on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one.